baby. Ja. Wow. Muy buena.
Welcome along to the Sporty Show, ladies and gentlemen. And happy birthday to Lamine Yamal. No longer 16 years old, but let me just tell you a little bit about this wonder kid. Before 17 years old, he played 51 times for Barcelona, scoring 7 goals, assisting 7 goals, 13 appearances for Spain, with 3 goals and 6 assists. Not Messi, not Ronaldo, not Wayne Rooney, not Holland, not Kylian Mbappe have done so. Happy birthday, Lamine Yamal. Klinton Khan, everybody.
Wagwan, yeah. I was going to say Yamal again on his birthday.
Get it together. It's his birthday.
Oh, my God.
At least today.
Happy birthday, Lamine. Officially, he's an old man, and I think that's the most. So any goals he scores now, there's never going to be all this, oh, my God, he's a 16-year-old. Oh, my God, he's such a kid. Fam, you are an old man at 17. I already was trying to pop my kids already. So, yo, fam, you are now an adult officially, fam. Like, yo, now you're going to have to step up your game. Anyways, in the show as well, we have the man and only, or should I say the one and only, the guy who's still dwelling on the red bow tie, because obviously now I'm joining him in rooting for England. It's Alex Ashmore.
Still going with the red bow tie. You doubted us against Slovakia, you doubted us against Switzerland, you doubted us against the Netherlands.
This is the
and
first
now,
time.
If you can't beat them, join them. So
No, I've joined you. No, thank you, man. We are together in this stuff, my bro. Come on, man. England for the win, anytime, any day.
Well, somebody who I know is with me is the one and only Miracle. I know you're not jumping on this terrible bad way.
Of course, I have to support my country.
Of horrible football. Of football that they've barely gotten through.
I have to support my country back and forth. Like, I know Spain is going to win it.
Me too. Me too. Oh my gosh, also I'm just noticing your hair on fire with the shells in the back. I love this. I love this. He's had the hair ready for the finals.
No,
Making me blush.
That shell in the back of your head. You know, in Africa, you'd be a native doctor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be a juju man. Like, no, for real. In Nigeria, in Africa as a whole, if you're carrying that kind of stuff, maybe on as a necklace or anywhere, fam, you are a confirmed juju man.
So he's bringing the good juju for Spain.
No,
then.
but
let's go. He's sprinkling a little bit over England, I think.
It's not going to work for you, fam. Sorry.
Really quickly on Lamine Yamal, guys. The youngest player to debut for Barca La Liga. The youngest player, to assist and score in La Liga. The youngest player to debut in the Champions League, score in the Champions League, assist in the Champions League. The youngest player in a knockout and a quarterfinal of the Champions League. To make 50 appearances for Barcelona, 10 in the UCL. The youngest player to score for Spain. The youngest player to play at the Euros, and the youngest player to assist and score at the Euros, and maybe tomorrow, the youngest player to win a Euro. Let's see. But happy birthday, Lamine Yamal, because what you have done in a matter of a year has been absolutely incredible, and we are loving the football that you are playing. All right, guys, make sure you
subscribe, go on.
Honestly, today, Klinton, honestly, I already can tell. Make sure you subscribe, because if you haven't already subscribed to our TikTok, guys, we have hit 100K followers. Thank you guys so much for all the love. That is absolutely massive, but we are also on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, all of Insta, everything. Come with us for the final few days of the Euros. Sporty Live will be back tomorrow for the final, and SportyTV will be showing it. But let's get into what's on today's show.
The Euro 2024 final is only 32 hours away. The perfect time for us to preview what will be the most important game of the year in the European footballing calendar. We'll also look at everything Spain as the national side gets ready for their first final since 2012 on Lamine Yamal's 17th birthday. And we also look at how England are preparing for tomorrow's final, as Gareth Southgate and co look to win their first international trophy in 58 years.
Do you want to say something about Lamine?
No. No, I mean, listen, I'm a very huge fan of Lamine Yamal, obviously. But at this point, when you were reading all the statistics and how he's the youngest player that's done everything, the truth is whatever Lamine Yamal does on the pitch, he's going to be if he coughs, right, he's going to be the youngest cougher on the
He
pitch,
also
right?
could be one of the youngest players to ever lose a Euro final. So.
Oh, well, I mean, tomorrow, 100%, he would be the youngest player.
Did you know that Jesus Navas, he was playing alongside him against the win against France, and Jesus Navas is in fact older than Lamine Yamal's father.
That's crazy.
Incredible stuff. We have Gary in the building, joining us from Berlin, I believe. Gary, how are you? Yes, sir, with
Fine,
the fresh
thank
cut.
you.
Lined up.
Yeah.
Yes, Gary.
Gary, how far now? What's
I'm
going on,
I'm the
man?
youngest. I'm the youngest person to talk about Lamine Yamal as well. And Lamine Yamal is also the youngest person to ever have me talk about him from Berlin on the eve of a major championship. So there you go. Hi guys.
No, but the truth is, listen, if we want to start breaking records here, right?
I'm the youngest person here.
Are you the youngest
I'm
person?
the
here?
yeah.
How old are you?
I'm actually 21.
So you are the youngest person?
Alex, sit down. You thought you had that. You thought you had that. Sit down.
No, I think you're the youngest player to speak about the youngest player. No, so you are the youngest TV guy that's speaking about the youngest player.
Yes.
That has debuted for Spain, right?
I like that. I like that, like printed. And,
Alex, you could also break something for yourself too. So Alex could be the tallest person that's spoken
Yeah,
about the
to be
youngest.
fair, that's all right.
You're the tallest man that's spoken about the youngest player in Spain. God. Oh man, Lamine is helping us break records. Thank you.
I love
Come
Lamine.
on.
Gary, talk to us. How are the vibes in Berlin? When did you arrive? How is it feeling? What are the fans like? Talk to me.
Yeah. So I left the US. While I was doing the Copa on Thursday evening. So I came with a very late overnight flight. So I landed in the afternoon, yesterday afternoon in Berlin. I came to meet the rain, unfortunately. So it was raining. I couldn't get a lot of people out there in the afternoon. But at the airport, there were all the signs of a Euro final. There was a desk dedicated to Euro affairs. You came out of the airport, there were billboards clearly showing Berlin this, Berlin that, Berlin United for football or something like that. And around the city, you could tell that, the Euro is happening here as well. Then there were a couple places where fans were congregating later in the evening, having their beers, that sort of stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy that you're there. The scenes must be amazing leading up to the Euros, obviously. All right, guys, I have a question for all of you. And I thought we were going to start the show like this. And Gary, I wanted you to be a part of this because I know you can't join us for the entire show, but we have Spain and we have England. And I would like to ask each of you to give me your combined 11 between these two sides based on the Euros. I don't want to hear Jude Bellingham had a really good season at Real Madrid. I want to know a combined 11 between these two teams and...
A combined 11 of the two teams. Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to start with you, Miracle.
I mean, in goal, I'm obviously not gonna pick. What's his name again?
Wow.
This guy from England.
Disrespect.
Wow. Jordan Pickford is that.
Wow.
I'm picking Unai Simon.
Okay, you're back four?
Back for Kukureya has to be there. Navas has to be there. Saliba has to be there.
Why are we
No,
not
no,
doing-
no, sorry,
why are we
sorry,
not-
sorry.
Why are we not doing this together? though?
First of all, only of Spain and England. The
Spain
final
and
two
England.
teams.
My bad.
Yes, and because you're gonna have different ones, so I'm gonna go through.
No, let's just be accepting and saying, no, I don't agree with that. This is what I will put.
All right,
Fam,
that's
this is going
okay.
to take us like 10 years, man.
I'm gonna say when you see the other one.
Let's listen, this is teamwork, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it together then, Gary, and I need your opinions here too. So, Miracle said he didn't want to start with Jordan Pickford. He's going Unai Simon. How do you feel about that?
It's a good choice, but Unai Simon, has he been very good defensive-wise, or has his defense been better? I feel like he has not had as much work to do this Euros as Jordan Pickford, because Pickford has been really tested, So Unai Simon, based on his clean sheet, he has a better clean sheet record, I suppose, right? Is that right, guys?
Yeah,
Right.
Of course.
of course.
Yeah, but I feel like Jordan has been busier. So yes, I'll go Unai Simon. Ole.
You know what? But for me, though, I think I might have to go for Jordan Pickford. And do you know why? Right? I mean, Alex, you would
You know
support
what's
me on that
interesting
one.
is that I'm the tiebreaker. Unai Simone's in between the sticks, ladies and gentlemen. No, go for it. Pickford has had more work to do, for
yes,
sure.
exactly. And the reason, now, if we were going for a major competition now, I'm going to go for a guy who has been tested, right? And the truth is, Jordan Pickford, he's good. Like, he's not a bad goalkeeper. He's a very good... I mean, it's not just about the tournament. This tournament has been busy. England has not been the best. So now, when you're not the best, it means your keeper is having to work hard, right? And if for some reason England has made it up to the final, somehow, despite being rubbish all through the season, apart from the last game, I think I would rather go with somebody I trust, and I would trust Jordan Pickford over Unai Simon.
You know what? You know what? I think I'll actually go for the tiebreaker and go Jordan Pickford because I'm trying to figure out what other England players are going to make this team. So let's give them the keeper. No, to be fair, he has worked harder. He absolutely has. But I think in that sense, then we can put him in.
I think he's been superb. I think when he's been
Well, he's had to be
upon,
because he's had no one in front of him.
Yeah, well, no, I think to be fair to the England defence, I think that's probably been our most positive aspect of this year. Is I think defensively we've been fantastic. Pickford, brilliant in a penalty shootout. He's made saves when he's been called upon. I don't think he's put a foot wrong. I couldn't fault him, whereas I think Unai Simon, I could fault him. And I think overall, I definitely think Pickford's had a better Euros.
I don't think you can fault Lamine Yamal. Jesus, my head is... you know where I'm thinking. I don't think you can fault Unai Simon because he really hasn't had too many mistakes, but I think Gary's right. His defense has just been way better. Like, one of the goals that has been scored against him was from his own defense. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's fine. We'll go for Jordan Pickford for doing more work than Lamine. Oh, my goodness, really, today. Then Unai Simon. Gary, I'm going to ask you to give us a combined back four, and then we'll decide if we like it or not.
Combined back four. Guys, you'd have to help me here.
Kukurea, 100%
Kukurea is definitely
in
going.
this team.
He's definitely taking that left 100%.
There's not even a...
Ras Kuku. You know, that's what they call him.
I need my wig.
Ras Kuku. Ras Kuku.
Rash Kuku.
Rash Kuku.
Ras Kuku.
I bet, sorry.
Rasta Kuku.
Oh, Ras Kuku. Rastaman Kuku.
Rastaman Kuku.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
and then who
obviously, yeah. I think that'll be first pick. Anybody for the two centre-back pairings? John Stones?
I mean, I've got Gahey and John Stones in my team.
There's not a chance that Laporte doesn't make it into this team. He's played way better opposition than these two. I think Laporte has been fantastic for Spain. I also think Dani Carvajal has missed, one game? But
So we are going with Walker. Is Walker going for the right one then?
why does Walker have to go? Let's get there.
Okay.
Let's get there.
Sorry, no, mate,
But-
listen, I'm just, all right, go on, let's get there then. Are we using Uber to get there? Or
I mean-
are we using Metro?
So Gary, you want to put two England centre backs, or you just want to put John Stones?
John Stones. Only John Stones for me. And then
Miracle?
Laporta, maybe.
Laporte.
Laporte has to be there. Laporte has to be there. Has to be there.
All right.
And so you want to put John Stones and Laporte. Is that what you
Yes.
guys are telling me?
Yeah.
I'm just going to write this
That's where I'm
down.
going.
Okay, Alex Ashmore, how are we feeling about that?
I mean, I'm going for Gahey and John Stones. I think they haven't put a single foot wrong. They've been fantastic. Gahey's in his first major tournament for England. He's been arguably England's best player so far at the Euros.
I don't know that.
Sorry,
Not saying
who?
what.
Gahey.
Has been the England best player.
I think when you look at what he's done and what he's brought to that team, he's been fantastic.
Alex, sorry, did you drink any? Did you have fever? Wait, hold on. Let's check your pulse. We need to check if everything is okay there, man. Because sometimes when I have high temperature, right? This is usually this is where I think. So that's why I want to be sure that everything is good.
No, I'm being honest. No.
Don't get me wrong though. Gahey's been very fantastic, yeah. But saying he's the best England player so far, I think that's the one I'm very.
Who's the best England player so far?
I think I would probably. I'll still have Saka over even Gahey.
Okay.
Did you see it?
It's probably, maybe Saka, I think, in terms of what he's done, the influence he's had on the game. But I think when you talk about defensively, those players tend to get forgotten in terms of their influence on the team. And Gahey, he's been, if not the best, he's been the standout player for England this tournament. It's his first major tournament. He's very inexperienced on the international level, and I've been really impressed with him. And I think when he came out, I think Konza did a good job replacing him, but you can definitely feel a lot more secure when Guehi's in that centre back with John Stones. And as well as that, I think John Stones has been brilliant. I think he's dealt with what they've had brought forward against them. They've played Switzerland, who are a good side, who knocked out Italy. They've played the Netherlands side, who are improving as the tournament's gone on. And I don't think they've put a foot wrong as a defence.
Gary, how do you like the likes of Stones or Guehi as the middle pairing, or Laporte and Stones?
I'm going Stones and Laporte.
Thank you very much. That's all I needed to hear. All right, on the...
On the right now.
On the right, I think it has to be Dani Carvajal, but Alex, give me your reasoning as to why it should be Kyle Walker.
I think in terms of, they both had brilliant tournaments. I think Dani Carvajal's been really good, but when I look at that tackle on Musiala, I feel like a player of his experience shouldn't be doing something like that.
That's the Real Madrid way. That's no shock.
But no, I feel like he should know better, and I don't think Kyle Walker has done too much wrong. I think he's been brilliant. He's obviously his natural position is right back, but he's playing in that sort of right side of a three centre back recently. I think he's been fantastic. He offers a lot going forward. He's pacey, and I just feel a lot more secure with Kyle Walker at right back, I think, in terms of this performance at the Euros.
Dani Carvajal also scored, though. Like, he's that versatile of a right back. Is he not a miracle? Like, I think he's...
I mean, the issue with the English people is that no matter what English player does...
See, that's what I'm actually... No, Alex, I want you to answer this honestly. Like, please answer this honestly. Are you saying English players because you're English and this is the team you cheer for, and you obviously love this team no matter what? Because some of these answers I'm getting, I'm really trying to figure out... Like,
if I was being, brutally honest...
You have to be brutally honest.
If I was, maybe... I could make space for Aymeric Laporte in that defence. I think, whether it's John Stones or Mark Guehi, to be honest, I think I would have Guehi and Laporte. Right back, I am slightly winding you guys up. I think it is a toss-up between Kyle Walker and Carvajal.
No, I think he has to be Carvajal, though.
Okay,
and there's a reason why for that. Like, for somebody who's had that brilliant performance at the Champions League and then coming into...
Well, we are just basing it off the Euros.
No, I understand. I was just like, getting into the Euros as well. But, he's just been consistent lately when it comes to every... So, yeah, I would definitely have Carvajal over Kyle Walker.
Are you okay with that, Gary?
Yes. I will have Carvajal over Kyle Walker. Absolutely.
Wonderful. All right, middle three. I'm going to ask you to start this. Klinton, go.
Yeah, first of all, I mean, you know the first person I'm going to mention.
Rodri?
Right? Exactly. Like,
Rodri?
I was thinking you were going to say, I already know what Klinton is going to say on this one. Alex, who's the second one? Come on, we know. It had to be Rodri. But then again, if I was still going to pick another person, right? Yeah? And obviously it's going to be English this time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Who have you gone for? Kobbie Mainoo?
No. Kobbie Mainoo should be there. True.
I feel like with Kobbie Mainoo, if we're going off the whole Euros, yes, Kobbie Mainoo, arguably man of the match against Netherlands. Obviously, they gave it to Ollie Watkins. That's very fair. But I think just in terms of the whole tournament, Kobbie Mainoo probably hasn't played enough to warrant a spot in this side.
Yeah, but then if we're going to go by enough, that means the person I was going to mention, definitely not, right? And
who are you going to put in there? Declan Rice?
Listen, I would not. Declan Rice would be on my fourth substitution. Facts. I don't see. Let me tell you guys sincerely, right? I understand that Declan Rice is a very good player, right? But you see, I don't see the hype around Declan Rice. Honestly, I watch the game. Like, there are players, for example, Kobbie Mainoo. I see him doing some crazy stuff on the pitch that will make you feel like, damn, man, Kobbie Mainoo. But Declan Rice, to me, is just a player on the pitch who's playing like Declan Rice. Like, his rice is boiling. Like, what do you expect from Declan Rice? He's just rising there on the pitch, right? But there are players whom that when you see them on the pitch, they are not just playing like they are giving you some God-level football, the kind of football that you, after the game, you'll be like, wow, this was actually a very excellent performance. Now, Declan Rice gives that for Arsenal. When it comes to the English team, I've not seen that Declan Rice level of performance in the Euro so far. Trust me, sorry for that.
That's one of my big criticisms of Declan Rice. You talked about how well he's done for Arsenal. I think, and I've said this countless times, and I feel like a broken record, he needs to be playing further forward. He's brilliant in what he offers going forward, and you've seen him with Arsenal. I think he's just been sitting far too deep, and this has been a criticism I've had of every English player. You know, you look at the average position compared to, I think it was the Denmark game or maybe the Serbia game, when we look at the second half average positions, there's an exponential difference between the first half and the second half, and Declan Rice has been sitting too far back, and I think when he is further forward, he offers a lot more, and I feel like that's why we've probably not seen the Declan Rice that we know and how well he plays for Arsenal. We haven't seen that this summer.
Can I get an answer?
I'm interested in
we spoke about why Declan Rice
No. The reason, but the reason why I've kind of like changed my mind, right? It's only because you mentioned that for the amount of games Kobe Mainoo had played. Now, this person I was going to mention is not really played as much, right? But Jesus God, why is his name just left my brain again? The Chelsea guy.
Cole Palmer.
Cole Palmer, right? Cole Palmer is somebody I don't joke with, right? I feel like Cole Palmer is probably one of the best English players that anybody should be speaking about. That guy comes with an anointing. He comes with grace, right? There's just something about him that means that when he's on the pitch, you just know that he's just going to do something that means you're just going to be happy. And obviously we saw it with Ole Watkins, right? Ole Watkins did say that they had the conversation just before they came on. He said, yo, listen, you have to feed me. And what did he do? He did feed him, and the goal came, and the goal sent England to the final. So for me, Cole Palmer, if I'm choosing any team in England from now till that kingdom come, I'm putting Cole Palmer anytime, any day.
Gary, how do you feel about a combined midfield here?
Right, Cole Palmer absolutely first.
Thank you.
Just because of his game-changing abilities in this tournament. And literally, when he touches the ball, when he's in the game, there's a certain impetus around the England team that is just not there when he's not around. So I'll put him there. He doesn't need to share space with Fabian Ruiz, does he?
Fabian Ruiz.
Fabian's in the team. I've written it down.
Yeah, I mean,
Fabian Ruiz has been one of the best players. It's Rodri. Right now, it's Rodri, Cole Palmer, and Fabian Ruiz. That's how it's looking.
That's how it's looking for me as well.
Okay.
I just wanted to justify my choices. Rodri, because, I mean, it's Rodri. In his position, he's the best in the world.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Yeah. I mean, Rodri, again, is obviously the experience he's going to bring among the young players that we are mentioning. So, for example, if we are having, how many of them do we have? Do we have Kobe Mainoo in the three, or do we have Fabian Ruiz? We have Cole Palmer?
Well, okay, I haven't fully set this because I have a question for Miracle.
Okay.
In this midfield, Cole Palmer, Dani Olmo?
I'm putting Fabian Ruiz. Like, if I had to choose midfield, for me, it would be Ruiz, Rodri, Copa America.
Kobe Mainoo. So Dani Olmo is not getting on this team,
I mean,
even though he's been a game changer for Spain and has 3 goals and is in the race for the Golden Boot. Just putting it out there, I just want to hear what you guys have to say, because I think arguably he's been critical for Spain in the last 3 games.
He's good.
Yeah.
If you're talking about a game changer, Dani Olmo is changing more games for Spain than Cole Palmer.
I would never. I
I'm not
would
saying
still have Cole
anyone's a
Palmer
better player
anytime,
than
though.
another one.
No, I
If
understand.
you're asking me about this tournament, Dani Olmo has changed the game much
Let
more
me tell
for
you.
Spain.
Let's agree on this. Yeah. The only advantage Dani Olmo have over Cole Palmer is the fact that he's had more games than Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer has just not had the opportunity to express who he is. But
Alex
fact is,
right, though, you have to take it into
every single time he's come on the pitch, right? Cole Palmer has the personality that when he comes, something has to change. Like, he's not coming to play like every other person. He's coming to do a Cole Palmer stuff. And you would see. Now, the person of Dani Olmo, right? I feel like he's playing among class. Yeah, he's playing among people who are just too good. And most times when you are playing with people who are good, it makes you look good too, right? Not trying
You
to say
can't
he's not
fault
good.
Spain for being a better team
No,
than
no, of
England.
course,
Like,
of
now
course
we're
they
gonna
are.
get into
Of
this. It
course
doesn't
they
make
are.
sense.
But see the difference between these two. Cole Palmer can come into a team where everyone is playing rubbish and he will change everything. That's where I'm coming at. Like he's not coming to be like you. He's coming to influence you. That's Cole Palmer, and that's the reason why in any team I'm selecting, right? And especially when you see his personnel, right? You could clearly tell that don't mess about with this guy. This is who he gives. Like if I'm playing against Cole Palmer as a defender, right? I'm literally going to tell my partner to say, yo, listen. Let's do this together. Yeah, because this guy, hey, Jesus of Nazareth.
I think I want to quash some, and I'm sure I'm getting some accusations of bias here. I want to quash some and say my midfield three is all Spanish. I've gone
Thank
Fabian
you.
Ruiz, Dani Olmo, and Rodri.
Thank you for being honest about it. I
Alex.
honestly think Dani Olmo...
Wait. Sorry, Ben. Ben, there's one knife. There's one knife that's next to the kitchen in that. Please bring it for me.
Gary, what do you think? Does Dani Olmo deserve to be on this midfield?
Oh, I mean, he deserves, but he won't.
Why?
He deserves, but he won't make it.
I mean, you have the Englishman here saying that the midfield should be Spanish.
Yeah,
Well,
but is that the reason why he should?
He won't because if I look at the three, I mean, balance and everything. So we are playing Cole. Fabian Ruiz game-changing abilities in this tournament, I think, has been a bit more pronounced. I think that's the word, yeah, than Dani almost, and then I'll go Cole Palmer and Rodri as well. Rodri to sit deep, and then you've got Cole Palmer, well, doing his thing. So we are playing a three midfield, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's difficult. There are so many good choices, but I mean, my personal opinion will be these three: one Englishman and two Spaniards.
To back up the Cole Palmer argument, I do think he's been brilliant. He hasn't been given the opportunity, as Klinton said. I think he maybe offers that something slightly different in the midfield. I think Rodri, Fabian Ruiz and Dani Olmo are all fantastic players. They've had fantastic tournaments, but I think, and I know we're not talking about the season as a whole, not just the club and country, but Cole Palmer was the third highest in terms of goal involvements, goals and assists this season in the top 5 leagues.
But we're not talking about the season.
No.
Like then it doesn't matter. Then you can't say it.
I know, but I'm saying...
Because if you can't talk about Dani Carvajal in the UCL, then we can't say
No, I'm saying, so he's, in terms of goal involvements, top 5 leagues, any player, so including strikers, he's third in the top 5 leagues in Europe. When you put him in that midfield, you know what you're getting. I think he offers that something a little bit different. And I think he's a brilliant link if you play him in that 10 role to link the midfield in the attack. And I think he does offer that clinical edge. He can score goals, he can make the killer pass, and he's been fantastic. What he has shown, he's been fantastic with England, and he is arguably one of the reasons why they're in the final, because of that pass to Ollie Watkins.
I'm so sorry, Miracle, but I don't think Kobe Mainoo is getting in based on what everyone is saying.
I do appreciate the suggestion, though. I think he's been fantastic.
So the midfield then will be Rodri, Fabian Ruiz, and Cole Palmer. Up front, Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams are in this team. So I'm already putting my foot down on those two. Would you guys then put Harry Kane?
Hang on, wait. Why did you just say?
You're not going to put.
Yamal? Like, why did you could have waited to see if anybody has an objection?
No, I mean I kind of agree. That's how those.
Hey, no. It wasn't about agreement. She literally just went Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams, and then we have.
Do you have any objection to Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams?
Exactly.
All right, Klinton, because we don't waste time on the show. Thank you so much.
Wait,
all right.
wow.
No, because we have to move on at some point.
What do you mean move on? Okay,
we have to move on at some point.
Do you know okay, all right.
Would you like to object Lamine Yamal or Nico Williams?
I'm definitely not objecting, but let's go.
Would you like to object, Alex?
No.
All right, so nobody's objected. This is why, because I know you guys. All right, in the middle then you can put Harry Kane.
It has to be Kane.
I'm definitely not putting Harry Kane there.
I mean, it has to.
I'm definitely. It doesn't matter the goal, right? For me, I'm talking about impact. Right?
3 goals is a big impact.
What kind of...
Still 3. He got the winner against Slovakia.
It's not. Listen.
If he doesn't score that winner against Slovakia, England aren't in the final.
And this is my biggest problem. You see, I was trying to be friends with you now, right? But you're not getting on my level. Because we are meant to be two English supporters, right? I'm not trying... Yeah, the media came and said Harry Kane is probably the best English player ever, right? I don't know if it was based on this tournament. I don't understand why, but I don't think it is. in this particular selection, I would. Watkins has only had like 5 minutes, or I don't know how
would
long.
have
10
Watkins-
minutes. I would have Watkins over Harry Kane anytime, any day.
I mean, I'm happy with that, just as long
Easy
as it's not
peasy.
Morata.
No,
I mean, to
definitely
be
not
fair,
Morata
I think
for me.
strikers
Come on,
in this
man.
tournament
Nah.
have been poor.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah,
We
they've
have,
been very poor.
we're struggling. I mean, at this point, you could put Kane, you could put Watkins, you put Morata. I mean, it's kind of like Watkins probably should have more time.
He should have more
minutes
time.
playing,
Yes.
But he doesn't. So
Yes.
that's kind of why it's difficult.
Yes. And do you know the
Kane
reason
has
why?
scored, but he has been poor.
Yeah.
Morata, not great, not
No.
game-changing. I mean, you're kind of just putting a person there at this point.
The reason why I'm taking Ole Watkins here is only because of the kind of goals he scores, right? This is why I'm saying was Kane. Kane does not deserve to be there because Kane, he usually needs those really beautiful opportunities, the headers, the penalties here and there. But Watkins gives you the kind of goals that would come in at the least kind of positions that you would expect. I mean, that goal you saw, he's done it so many times with Aston Villa. Did you see it? So that's the reason why it's so annoying that he doesn't get the opportunity that he should have gotten in these Euros. You've tried Harry Kane so many times. England, they've only had one brilliant game, which was the last one that I watched. I felt like, Southgate did the right thing, he did the right subs, and we saw some kind of upgrade from the games we've watched them play. Now, if Watkins is coming as a sub and he's delivering that kind of goal, why does he? If they were going to play the final, I swear to you, anytime, any day,
he's not
I
gonna
would
start,
have
I promise.
Watkins to start on that game over Harry Kane.
This is also the thing, and I think there is a point to start Watkins, but although, and I fully agree, I think Harry Kane has been below average this tournament. He's been poor, but it is a sign of a very good player, an excellent player, that when you are having a bad tournament, you're still getting the goals. He's got 3. Maybe not all of them are, majorly consequential, but he's still getting the goals. I think when you look at that England strike force, I think you have to start Kane, because I think Ollie Watkins has been brilliant. I really like him coming off the bench. I think coming off the bench, he offers that surprise element. He's, he'll come on in, the minute 70 or 75. He'll have fresh legs. He'll have the energy. And we saw what he did against the Netherlands. He came on and he was, he's brilliant. He wanted the ball from the get-go. There was even a clip where he said to Bellingham, you could see him pointing at me, get the ball to me. And, you put him in those positions, he's proven himself on the big stage. I think when you bring him on as a sub, I think he's, so far this tournament, you could define him as that super sub for England, I think.
Yeah, but then again, you are calling him a super sub because at the end of the day, in the English media or in the English football or anything, they would obviously rate Harry Kane over Ole Watkins. Yes, I understand Harry Kane, he's been there for a long time. He's been in the biggest stages ever. We've not seen so much of Ole Watkins, but then it's only because he's not had the opportunities, right? I feel like I want to watch a game where Ole Watkins is starting. Let's see his capabilities. Like I said, I've watched Aston Villa play so much. I've watched games where he's giving you the craziest goals, giving you hat-tricks here and there. And in this kind of major tournament, I would love to have a player that even the opponents are not so used to, so that he will surprise them. And not bring in the guy who they feel like, I've played with this guy so many times. We understand his tricks. We understand where he's going to be standing. We know where he's going to run into. And then they already know what Harry Kane's game is going to be. But Ole Watkins is that guy that's the surprise, like I said. And that surprise, I don't want it coming at the 80th minute or the 75th minute. I want it to come so we start banging in the goals. If Cole Palmer hadn't given that pass, you don't know what we would have been speaking about today. We would have been speaking that, oh man, the penalties, this person would have caught the ball or whatever. But today we are celebrating the fact that England is now in the final, and it's only because Ole Watkins was able to score a goal that was or should have been. Like, look at the angle he scored the goal from. Like, this is just normal. This is somebody. This is Watkins. This is who he is.
I fully get where you're coming from, but I think Kane is a brilliant player. He is one of those players that will come good. He's like Bellingham. He will turn up in the big moments. Yes, he's not been brilliant, but I think when you bring Ollie Watkins in the 70th minute, especially in a final, when the defence has maybe not got the freshest legs, they're tired a little bit, they're not at maybe 100% concentration. You bring on Ollie Watkins, that can really cause trouble. And I think for those last 20 minutes, 25 minutes, it's the same reason why I don't think Shaw should start. He hasn't had the game time to sort of get used to playing from the start. Trippier's been brilliant. I think he deserves that starting spot. And when you bring on Ollie Watkins as a sub, I think he has more influence, especially in a final, the important game like this. Kane has the experience. He's a big-time player. He's got the goals. Yes, he's not been brilliant, but I think Ollie Watkins will be more influential if he comes off the bench at the end when Spain aren't at their freshest. They're nervous. They're coming towards the end.
Yeah, Gary, I'm trying to get to. I'm sorry.
Look, first of all, a kind reminder that this is team of the tournament, not team of the group stages, not team of the round of 16.
Thank you,
not team
thank
of the
you.
Wait, I want to hear this.
semi-final, team of final. We are talking about team of the tournament. Oli Watkins, for all his impact sub attributes, has played 2 games and scored 1 goal.
Yeah.
Harry Kane, as boring as some may think he is, has scored 3 goals in 6 matches. Okay.
It was just when Klinton thought
His
that Gary was going to.
No, it's no. Wait. It's not
His
about that. It's not
overall
about that. He's
goal
giving the
contribution.
statistics I'm going to speak about now. But Gary, sorry, continue.
Yeah, his overall contribution in the tournament. So when you are judging player of the tournament, the question you are asking yourself is this, and you have 2 players in one position or 3 players in one position. The tiebreaker is simple. Without this player, does his team get this far in the tournament? That's how you help yourself. So let's begin. Without Oli Watkins, does England get this far from the beginning of the tournament until now? Yes, England get there because of Harry Kane. Without Harry Kane, do England get this far in the tournament without Oli Watkins? Yes, they do. And that's the reason why I would put Harry Kane in my team of the tournament.
So in other words, right, he's saying that I would have Harry Kane because he's had more matches. Like, it's that simple to me. You're only saying that you can't have Oli Watkins there because he's only had a few minutes or just 1 game there or 2.
No, that's
right?
not. I just prefer him off the bench.
No. Yours is different. I'm just talking based on Gary. Yeah. He's just said he's not had the best tournament, right? But because he's played a couple of games all through the tournament and he's had 3 goals, he deserves it. Now, do you think if you had Oli Watkins all throughout, I have a serious conviction that Oli Watkins would have outperformed by a mile. He would have been better than Harry Kane in the tournament if he had the opportunity. And me, I'm just banking on the fact that I'm ready to take a risk if I was putting up a team together to say, yo, I've seen these 2 players. I'm not just me. Now I'm having to look at Oli Watkins based on the kind of player he is. Yeah? And I'm choosing him for the person he is, the kind of goals he scores. This tournament is definitely not for Harry Kane for me. We are speaking about goals here and there, right? I asked you the question, what kind of goals has Harry Kane scored in this tournament? Sarah could have been on the team, scored Harry Kane's goal, and you would say Sarah is the best player in the tournament, yeah? And maybe you have people who are probably scoring goals like Lamine Yamal. Maybe Lamine Yamal has scored 2 of the kind of goals he scored for Spain in the last game, but because she scored 4 penalties, you think she's the best player. That's my problem.
Klinton, my last point on this. You are building a team of the tournament based on could, if. I am building a team of the tournament based on has.
The question you asked, though, he's but hold on, yeah. The question here is not the tournament. Remember that. No,
Spain
hold
and
on.
England.
It's between Spain and England.
A combined
right?
11.
But
A combined 11
the combined 11
on the
is
tournament.
The
Sorry?
combined 11 between
the
Spanish
tournament.
players and England players in the
Is it
tournament.
okay in the tournament?
Yeah, but that's why I said we're not basing it off of the season.
Okay. No. It's not even the season. I was thinking it's just based on let's say the last game that they've had.
No.
right.
No.
I just want to
So
jump
do I
to...
win? Do I win?
I think you win because the majority rules here.
No,
Gary.
I mean all of you went with Harry
Excuse
Kane,
me, I
which is
haven't
fine.
voted. I don't care to vote for a striker. All right, let me jump to some YouTube comments really quickly. Spain is winning the Euros and Rodri winning the Ballon d'Or. That would be interesting based on what Man City have done, if that
No,
happens.
absolutely not.
Oh, Gary!
No. No.
Tell me, Gary.
Simple argument. So initially it was a discussion about whether Messi was going to win Ballon d'Or if he wins Copa America, and I put that aside with I think convincing arguments. Rodri as well. First of all, in terms of the trophies won this season, what has Rodri won this season? Right? Premier League.
Prem? Just the Prem.
What have the Real Madrid guys won this season? They've got at least the Champions League in the locker and La Liga in the locker. and I'm talking about Vinicius and Jude Bellingham.
Oh, Vinicius is not winning anything after what he did in the Copa America. I'm sorry, but they can't be giving it to him.
That's what I'm saying. I'm even building a point. I'm doing elimination, right? So if you took Rodri, Vinicius, and Jude Bellingham, Vinicius would even take out Rodri because of what he did in the Champions League and La Liga on the strength of those alone. Then you come to Copa America versus Euros. Rodri gets further than Vinicius there as well. Okay, that's fine. But then you bring in Jude Bellingham, who has starred in all three competitions. La Liga, right? I mean, his credentials in La Liga are there for all to see. Then in the Champions League, obviously. Then you come to the Euros where he's gotten into the final on the strength of his contributions, his game-changing ability, the goals, the assists as well. Unfortunately for Rodri, we live in an age where these things matter. Yes, he's playing great football, his line-breaking abilities and all that, but he does not, unless he wins the Euros. Unless he wins the Euros. Even then, I suspect that those who vote in Ballon d'Or, of which I am a member, by the way,
My man has to specify. I understand, obviously, he's a flex.
Yeah.
But go on.
That is very cool.
Yeah,
So who are you going to vote for?
FIFA the best, actually.
Gary,
FIFA the best, not Ballon d'Or.
can I buy you
best,
lunch if you put
Ballon
Jude
d'Or.
Bellingham down?
Yeah, Jude Bellingham. It's obviously Jude Bellingham.
I mean,
over
after
Rodri,
this
obviously.
performance in the Euros, I mean, for what Jude Bellingham did in the last season, okay, but his Euros have been not good. Period.
Yeah, but
Period.
he's gone to the finals.
How has it not been
But
good?
he's gone to the finals.
No, how
So
has
we're
it not
coming
been
back to
good?
this
Big
again.
moments. He scored in
How
those
has it not been
games.
good?
Okay.
He's played in every game.
Yeah, but he's not been a game changer for England, in my opinion. I think his
Has
season with
Rodri
Real
been a game
Madrid.
changer for Spain? Has
Gary,
Rodri
let's
been
not.
a game
Gary,
changer
me and
for
you,
Spain?
let's never do this. Let's never have conversations that are stupid. Let's never do that. Gary, I believe in you so much. Rodri, come on. Don't do that. Don't do that, Gary. All right, let me go back to some comments here because the people are going crazy. Everyone is going off saying Dani Olmo should be in this midfield. I know. They won't listen to me. Actually, Alex Ashmore is on this with me. Everyone thinks the midfield should be combined of Dani Olmo, Fabian Ruiz, and Rodri. I know, guys. And then we did a poll on our Twitter asking which player has been the best player for England, and it has been voted Bukayo Saka. And I'm so sorry that you couldn't get onto this team because of Lamine Yamal's performance, but I completely agree. I think Saka has been your best player. The options were Mark Gay, 32.2%, Saka, 37.3%, John Stones, 6.8%, Jude Bellingham, 23.7%. Where is your boy Kobe Minu? Where is he? Miracle, I want to know because I agree. He's been so good.
No, Kobe Mainoo's been good, but there's been a lot more. The fact that you have one good player that's come out of a team doesn't mean the rest of them suddenly. We've had some really good, decent players.
Yeah.
In the whole tournament, really.
Someone said, you can't choose the team of the tournament based on potential. Palmer out, Olmo in, Watkins out, Kane in. And that was the point Alex Ashmore and Gary were trying to make. As it stands, our team of the tournament, and I'm saying "are" very loosely because I don't agree with a lot of this. But we have Jordan Pickford in between the sticks, Cucurella, Laporte, Stones, Carvajal across the back line, Rodri, Fabian Ruiz, and Cole Palmer, which I think is absolutely a robbery from Dani Olmo, and then Lamine Yamal, Harry Kane, and Nico Williams. I think the biggest standout here for me is that I think Dani Olmo has to be in this, guys, but otherwise, this is how it stands right now. Gary, thank you so much for all of what you contributed here. We love it. I hope you have a good time. Are you back with us tomorrow? Do we know?
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah,
All right, bring us more stories. Find out what they're up to. Get involved.
I'm going out there to film and to, soak the atmosphere some more. So I have more stories for you tomorrow.
Yes, Gary. Thank you so much. Enjoy it, truly.
Vamos!
Vamos! Let's go, Gary. All right, guys, that was more painful than I thought it was going to be. But let's talk about this Spain and England side, and we're going to do a little comparison in both teams and when their team was kind of the last, when were they last standout? When was the team, this nation, when were they last good?
Sorry, Sarah, just before you go on to that, because I'm just looking at the time, I feel like we're going to speak about some stuff and there are some things I really want to point out just before we go on to this one, and it's literally regarding the last game, England versus
Oh,
Netherlands.
you know what?
Yeah,
No, you got it. You got to get into
No, honestly, in as much as... The first one I want to speak about is that penalty, okay? That penalty, there is so much that's gone on there. In as much as I wanted England to win, because I'd rather see England face Spain than Netherlands, judging from the kind of performances they've had all through this tournament. I feel like it's not going to be the best final. To face a team like Spain. It would have literally just been a walkover for Spain. But yes, I'm happy England went through, but the way they went through, I feel like, there was some kind of fraud that's gone there. First of all, they awarded a penalty, which I feel wasn't a penalty. And number two, there was a handball by Bukayo Saka just before they awarded the penalty that they did not take back from the VAR to at least see. Because if they had gone back, the story would have not been. Now, Alex, I know you're an Englishman who's usually sincere, one way or the other. I understand you're very happy with your red bow tie in my team is going forward, right? But do you think England actually does deserve to be in the final, judging from what's happened in the last game?
To be honest, I know many of, I feel weird saying this, but my fellow English pundits, I've seen the likes of Micah Richards, Gary Neville talk about this, and in 9 times out of 10 you see that in the Premier League. It's not a penalty. It's a rare decision. It's very soft, and I think that's something that's become part of this game, where we look at a minimal amount of contact and we think, oh, that's enough to give a penalty. Whereas if you wind back, say, 15, 20 years, those sort of challenges were happening all over the pitch.
15, 20 years isn't very far away.
Maybe not even 15.
I think even that, like 5
I'm thinking
years.
like 5 years ago.
But when I look at that situation and the contact that there was, I don't think it's enough to even give a foul in the middle of the pitch. I know it's in the penalty area, so the referee might argue that it's more consequential, the contact, but when I think back to challenges that I've seen in the box, there are penalties where there's been much more contact, and I think, no, that's a fair challenge. You're going to have, it's a contact sport. You're going to have collisions like that. You're going to have moments where, a player will, either when he's trying to strike a ball, he'll connect with the defender's leg, or the defender will accidentally get in the way of the striker and trip him over. But when you're giving penalties for stuff like that, I think, there's a phrase that I hear going around to say the game's gone. It does feel a bit like we're just looking to give penalties for anything. And it's also the fact that when we have VAR, we can look at those things, and when we've looked at those things, still give it a penalty. That's what's even more baffling for me, is the fact that you can... I understand in the heat of the moment, it's a difficult job to be a referee, and I side with Virgil van Dijk on the fact that someone who's been done for match fixing shouldn't be refereeing a semi-final of the Euros. But when you... In the heat of the moment, it's easy to make a mistake. But then when you go and look at it on VAR and still give the penalty, it's bonkers for me.
Miracle, what do you think?
I mean, I kind of agree with him. Like, as you said before, like, in the heat of the moment, I understand. It's what you see, like, oh, hit my leg and that. But once you go back to the VAR and see that it was just like...
It's a 50-50 ball.
It's a 50-50 ball, but you already had a shot. Like, kind of.
Yeah,
that's the thing. You already had a shot, then his leg does... Is the motion. Like, what was he supposed to do?
Pull it. Yeah,
exactly. Like, there's nothing you can do at that moment. But to give a penalty off that is just poor decision.
Yeah, and then, I mean, we're speaking about the penalties. Alex, now, the fact that the VAR did not take it back to the handball by Bukayo Saka, what's your own opinion? Like, do you think, like, for me, these are the things they should be looking at, right? Yeah. They should be going back to see, right, there's a handball before the challenge. Let's say they want to agree that the challenge was actually very bad. But you're going back to see there was a handball by Bukayo Saka. That should automatically be ruling out that particular challenge on the box.
That is my big problem with VAR. I think it's a brilliant introduction to the game. We need it. But the way it's been utilised is shocking. It is poor. It's, when the referee is the one making the decision when he's on the pitch, I know he's going over to look at the VAR screen, but the people in the booth, they have so many more angles to look at it. They have the slow-mo, they have the wide angle, they have the close angle, they have the far angle on the other side of the pitch. When you're not giving them the power to say to the referee, look, I think you've missed something there, go and look at that, it defeats the point of having the VAR. If you're not allowed to tell the referee, if you're not going to say to the referee, you've missed something there, you should go back, or even overrule the referee. I understand referees will say, I don't want to lose my power on the pitch. It's, I'm the one who's reffing the game. But if you're worried about losing power to then, lose out on making the right decision, it's it's something Sepp Blatter once said, people want to argue about these decisions. No, we want to argue about games when the decisions have been made correctly. And when stuff like this is going on, it frustrates me that VAR is not being used properly.
Do you think that this game, not based on you're happy that England is in the final, but do you think that the Netherlands should have gone through based on these two decisions that were made incorrectly by the referee?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, the question is what's, you know, I can't remember what the scoreline was just before the penalties. Yeah, I think, was he aware? So,
It was,
so it was 1-0 to Netherlands. So meaning that there would have been a very high chance that maybe Netherlands would have been the ones in the final. Now, would I have been happy? I would have been happy because that was my...
Not the question.
Sorry,
not the
sorry,
question. I'm just asking you, do you think Netherlands would have gone through based on these mistakes that were made by the referee? Obviously,
I mean, I'm not God.
Up to interpretation.
At the end of the day, yes, this is a question for a prophet, right? I mean, I'm just Klinton code, right?
Okay.
Who watches football just like every other person. Now, the thing is, football, anything could happen, right? Now, it was just one goal. England could have scored a more normal goal. Who knows? Like, they would have brought in, maybe Southgate would have felt like, right, okay, we are losing at this point, yeah? What should I do? Maybe Ole Watkins would have maybe come into the game earlier than when he came on. Cole Palmer would have probably come in earlier. Like, they would have done so much. That would have meant that England would have done more pressing and created more chances. They would have maybe scored 1 or 2 goals extra, right? It could also be that Netherlands would have just defended their 1 goal to the end and they would have gone to the final. So anything could have happened anyways.
Of course. What do you think, Miracle?
I mean, yeah, they were doing well after that first goal from Xavi Simons. You could tell that England was struggling to get goals. And I think that's just like...
the momentum switched after that goal.
It kind of switched. Like, after that penalty, that unfair penalty, in my opinion, like, you could tell, like, it kind of affected
their mental side, yeah.
The mental state about, like, it's an unfair goal. Yeah. It's literally an unfair goal. And the semi-final as well. Like, they know, like, imagine they draw, they get to penalties and they lose. Like, it's because of that unfair penalty. That's the main reason.
Yeah.
Oh, they lost. But I don't think that we should have those type of referees in the
definitely
games
not
anymore. Like, I don't think it should be at the football game, not even a side, a 5-a-side or 6-a-side.
No, 100%. I agree.
It shouldn't be allowed to be 100 meters close to a football pitch ever again. Seriously, because that was just very poor.
No, I could imagine being a Dutch player that day. Like,
well, Virgil van Dijk came out and said that the ref didn't even shake their hands. He bolted right into the tunnel, and you know that's just poor form.
No, but that's sad though. That's sad. It shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't. If I was Van Dijk, I would have. Trust me, yeah, we're out. They would have given me a ban, but he would have collected a punch from me. Fact.
I mean,
100%.
I don't resort to violence, but sometimes some people deserve.
No, yeah, of course.
Like
yes. No, they do deserve it. I mean, we saw Nunes. He did something that he. Man, literally went into this town to fight for his family. And wait. I heard that he was given some kind of ban. I don't know if that's true.
Well,
but
the point was that the Colombian fans were attacking the families of the Uruguayan players. And so the Uruguayan players weren't being allowed to go defend their families. And then I believe who ended up coming out and saying, was it Jimenez? It was Jimenez. Came out and said, they're not letting us talk about it. And then grabbed the microphone from the pundit and said, the Colombian fans are attacking our families. And that's why Darwin Núñez left. He did what he felt he needed to do. And unfortunately, this is something that we hate to see in any form of tournament. Yeah,
Respect to Darwin Núñez.
Fans going after one another is one thing. I still don't think it's good. I think it's bad for the game in general, but it happens. But to go after players' families, I think, is another level
extreme.
of...
That's extreme.
It's really disturbing.
I think that's extreme. Now, Darwin Núñez, I think he was even nice. Like, listen, I would have got into that stand. God knows. If my family were watching the game, say my kids were there, my sister, my brother, or anybody, right, and they were attacking my family, I would not listen to you, even if they are saying players should not. I would go in there with a very big iron rod, like, you know, those ones that when you hit somebody's head, they will not stand up. At least they will be in hospital for at least 8 months. And when they come out, part of their brain cells will be gone. They will not remember their names. I would do that. Like, we are the ones playing the game. If you want to come do something, come do it to us. Don't go face our families are innocent. Why would you? So I respect Darwin Núñez. And if they are giving him a ban on something, I think that's unfair. Because that is what anybody would do at that point in time.
At the moment, he's allowed to play against Canada, but 11 other players are under investigation. And I think the big thing for me from all of this is the fact that the security and the police weren't there sooner to intervene. Because when you've got Colombian fans sitting next to Uruguayan players' families, you know, you've got to have some sort of... Because
Absolutely.
they're going to know that, you know, that's Darwin Núñez's mum or his wife or his kid. You've got to give them some protection, and you can't have... When a fight like that breaks out and you're, you know, I don't know how long it was, but it felt like too long for police or security.
Yeah, it was like there's footage of it, and it's just happening. I think this really goes to show you once again that the U.S. should not have hosted this tournament. There's been so many reasons as to why, but you know, the pitches were poor, the travel is really long. You have, you know, there's no security. They don't understand the levels of what Copa America is. I think it's something that they really need to learn from for the 2026 World Cup, because it's absolutely bang out of order, and hopefully everyone's families are all right. Jumping back to our comments before we wrap this show up, Stacey Mara wrote, Danny should be in with Watkins. Spain will win the final 2-1 with Watkins scoring again, but then Spain will score too. I mean, let's see. Can you imagine if Watkins gets the start, Alex Ashmore?
I don't think it will happen.
I don't think it'll happen either.
No, it's definitely not happening, especially with the latest PR that Kane has gotten recently. And that's, again, one of my biggest problems with English media. How do you have Oli Watkins coming in like how many minutes left to the end of the game, banging the goal that takes them to the final, but next minute we start hearing that Harry Kane is the best player in the whole of England. They can't be doing this thing every single time. Like, if somebody has managed to get your team into the final, let's speak about this player. Like, every single publication I was seeing was Harry Kane's photo. Harry Kane is the best player. Fam, this man took you to the finals, man.
Can we talk about this more tomorrow? Because I'd like to dive into that more, and we have to wrap the show up. Let's get into this topic tomorrow. We'll talk Ollie Watkins versus Harry Kane, because we are back. Tomorrow's the finals. Ladies and gentlemen, Spain versus England at 9 p.m. Sporty Live will be live ahead of that to talk pre-match and lineups and all of that goodness. But we will be here again tomorrow to finally discuss the final of the Euros. So join us again, and we'll be back tomorrow.
Ebwe.